Okay. So I unfortunately could not build up it again because there was lots of financial instability at that time. So I had to shut down my startup and get back to job. And now, see, I felt that whenever I was involved in my startup, in my own business, I was very happy. I was very satisfied. And since these years, when I'm into job, I'm not getting that satisfaction. So I again want to get into the same field. I am since beginning. I'm into educational sector in a educational industry. I have a very good experience. I have been an online tutor for many years. Worked as an online tutor in Tutor Vista and Pearson in all these companies. So I have an overall idea how these companies work, how this education sector work. Now, what challenges I'm facing right now is I have also discussed with Ramesh sir over message in LinkedIn. Uh, right now, my startup idea is basically not to give online tutoring because there are already hundreds of there in the market for online
Correct.
tutoring. Basically, I want to create a pool of tutors and a pool of psychologists who can help students to lessen or minimize the mental pressure they are facing right now. आजकल स्टूडेंट्स में जितना पढ़ने का टेंशन नहीं है उससे ज्यादा टेंशन है कि हम कैसे अपने कंपटीटर से compete करें, कैसे हम अपने सोसाइटी को फेस करें, कैसे हम अपने पेरेंट्स को फेस करें, टीचर्स को फेस करें. सो कोरा में भी मैं हूँ एंड अन अकेडमी में भी मैं कुछ महीने पहले एक्टिव था.
Mm.
मैंने कई ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स को डायरेक्टली डील किया है जिन्होंने जो डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं कि सर हम कैसे ये प्लान करें, हमें कोई बताने वाला कोई नहीं है. एंड व्हेन आई काउंसिल देम दे फील वेरी हैप्पी. अन अकेडमी में अभी आप देख सकते हैं मेरा उसमें प्रोफाइल है, अराउंड 5 लाख के ऊपर मेरे व्यूज हैं एंड देयर आर 15,000 स्टूडेंट फॉलोअर्स.
Very
सो
nice.
बट यही है कि आई वांट टू गेट दैट प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ माइंड वेयर आई कैन help this large number of students, and I'm pretty sure India mein there are millions of students who are searching for this kind of guides or counselors who can help them out. So
Yes,
mera
yes. The demand is always there. Demand is always there.
yes.
No doubt about it. Somewhere it is echoing.
Please mute
Yeah.
whoever is like Ramesh ji is speaking right now. Rest of you can please mute your audios.
Yeah, Sandeep. Actually,
Yeah.
your idea is good. This thing is very much required because even CBSE has identified that every school must have a psychologist in their school actually to handle the work pressures and all those things. Even children committing suicide has been on the rise.
Yes.
So CBSE has identified that, and there are already strict instructions to all the schools under CBSE to have a psychological counselor in the schools. Some do have, some they may have a tie-up with some other third-party company which will do on a case-to-case basis or whatever it is.
Right.
The requirement is there. The problem for you will be to reaching the people. The supply is always an easiest part of any business. I keep
Right.
telling that demand is the only the criteria which is not in your hands. Supply is always in your hand. You can supply whatever people want, but who are the people? How do you identify who are the people? That is a million-dollar question. Like we
So
can write a book and you don't know who will buy it, right, Amar?
Yes.
Getting
Yes.
those guys is the most difficult part. You can give a best service available on the net, off the net, everything. You may have 100 counselors with you, but the problem is how do you reach the student community and the parents community? And one more problem, what I noticed is the children are a bit hesitant to talk to a counselor who is very close to the family. So they are afraid that whatever you tell the counselor may tell the parents. So many times
right.
the parents do
Right.
not like to talk to the same counselor who is actually next door. It's very difficult actually. Though the professionalism is there, people are still afraid. Suppose you have a doctor in the house, that doctor is likely to discuss the patients in your house, then the patients are a bit afraid that the information will go out. So generally, you tend to go to a different doctor who is not known to you or who referred by someone else to someone else. So these kind of issues we have to cover actually speaking in psychology part of it. But if it is a career counseling, there is absolutely no problem. They will always come to the known person because they know for sure that yes, you will be of good health. They will come and guide. Suppose it's a psychological pressures are so many. Suppose in the house the father is pressurizing that you must do MBA. So the thing is, the child cannot go and tell the counselor who is very close to the family and telling that my father is pressurizing him. He's afraid. He can always tell. It's not that he can't. The responsibility is on the counselor, who has to keep it as a secret. Different way he has to counsel the father. But often what happens is they try to address only from the child side. It doesn't help. It has to be on both sides. If a child has a problem, the counselor must identify what is the root cause. Is it from the child himself, or is building the tension himself, or it's created by someone else? So
It
if
is
I am an
actually,
employee,
sorry to interrupt you.
yeah,
It's actually from both the sides, the child from himself and also from the surrounding, what he
correct,
has
correct.
experienced. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to address the surroundings also. That is what I am telling.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if child says I am not able to cope up with the education system and then I am stressed out, you can definitely address that, because the system is bigger and you can't change the system for the sake of the child.
Right.
So what exactly is the problem? Where is the problem? Whether he likes the particular subject or not? Then is he interested in a different career? Then you have to push into the career counseling as a different subject. Then a different counselor will come into that. So one
Right.
counselor may not be actually doing everything under psychology. So there must be multiple things. Some people may have just a depression. There is nothing to do with his personal thing or thing. Some people may just doubt themselves. Am I really capable? I am getting almost 98.99%. Why I am not getting 99%? We have to tell them that 98.99 is more than sufficient and 99 doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So that is where, how do you, why the child thinks 99 is important and why 98.99 is not important? Who is making him feel that? Whether he himself is feeling that, or somebody else is comparing, and then who is comparing? Those kind of things come into the picture. And one more problem, what I noticed is handling children, getting the orders for children and the parents is the most difficult part. You are already there in the tutor business, so you know how to handle the tutorial business. But as a marketing person, do you know how to get the customers back into your fold? If you know it, then fine.
Yes, sir. I
How-
I have that experience also. I have been visiting schools. I have
Hmm,
worked for a educational company for 1 year where I used to visit schools. I used to give demos and collect data, and then follow up with that data and convert it into admission. So
Now, what is the bottleneck for you?
sorry, sir.
What is the bottleneck? You have both.
Yes,
You have marketing skills and you know supply side and you know the demand side. What is now your
so
what?
the problem is when I inquired about app development, I'm basically from a non-technical background.
Correct, no
I
problem.
do
Yeah,
not know anything about app development or
yes,
digital marketing, anything.
fair.
So when I inquired about app development, the pricing which I am getting from different vendors is
7
above
lakhs, 8 lakhs.
15 lakhs, 35 lakhs, 40 lakhs. Today morning, one app developer called me from Gujarat and he said it's 40 lakhs. So,
Ask him to go.
so what should I do? I don't know whom
No,
to.
no.
Yeah,
This is what I exactly noticed in the startup area, where most of the people they are telling that we'll get you the tech platform, everything, but give us some 15% stake. But the condition is you have to pay them some 50% down payment. That 50% down payment itself is actually double the cost of the software development. If
okay,
the product is it costs you only 2 lakhs, they will actually tell you some 8 lakhs. Then they will charge you say 50%. Say if you bargain heavily, they will come down to 4 lakhs. Then they will say, okay, give us a 15% stake in your company, and we will maintain it as long as your company is running. So it
okay,
doesn't make any sense. So you should first talk to some technology guy who can actually guide and say, okay, like Sharma is our one. Sharma is here actually. Who
Yes.
is my who worked with us with me also. He's a very good programmer. Now he's a project manager. Maybe much better. I don't know. He left
okay.
us long back. Very nice chap. So maybe if you can get some sort of software guys who are known in your circles, get the approximate code. Ask them not to actually do anything. This is my entire scope, how much it costs. So those people will definitely give you, if you tell the scope, I want an iOS and I want an Android and one web base, all the three together, and this is my scope, whether database management is there, you can roughly give the picture, and people can give an approximate figure, because nobody can give you a exact software code, because you don't know the scope. And one more thing is, as you're a startup, it keeps increasing. Your the scope never is fixed. Every day
Right.
you change the specification. So the software guy has to have a lot of patience, and he have to keep changing the software without grumbling much. So
Yes.
first thing is you talk to friends, get an approximate quote before you go and get the real quotes.
Right. I think
Okay.
that's a question that I think a lot of non-tech guys face, Rameshji. Even I'm a non-tech
Everybody,
guy, and but is there an approximate figure that people like Sandeep and me, if we were talking to tech guys, is there an approximate figure to create an app, for example? Let's say create an app for counselors. Is there an approximate figure you could think
yeah,
about?
see, that is a different way. Actually, if you still want to have a reasonable quote, what you
Yeah.
should do is post a project in your freelancer.com and two to three sites. So
Okay.
there people bid actually, based
Okay.
on that, and there what happens is you are never sure of the quality. You
Hmm.
take how experienced they are and how many stars they have. You just check them around and probably take about 20% more than that whatever they have quoted, or take an average out of all those things. Some people quote very high, some
Right.
people quote very low. So
Right.
don't consider those, and you check only the 5-star guys and 4-star guys in freelancer. They would have done a lot of projects, and then you check how much, whether they are in the post itself. You can clearly say, I want to develop a site for tutorials, and anybody is interested can quote me. You can just give him a brief module saying that in a student should be able to log in, the individual, the tutor should be able to log in. They should, all that, whatever you want. Briefly you can specify without telling your USP.
Right.
Then they will give you some approximate quotes that will give you a reasonably good pricing structure,
Right.
and you add another 25% to 30% on that average price so that you can get it done in the local guys.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
So I
Thanks.
have a query. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry to
I think yeah.
interrupt.
Who's
Yeah, yeah.
asking? Purujit, is that was
No, no,
that?
Sandeep. Sandeep here.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Sandeep.
Maybe like one more follow up, and then we can move on to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Like I have an experience of developing website from the CMS management system like Weebly or Wix.
Okay.
Initially, the first website which I created was from Weebly, and I
Hmm.
see that Wix also provides app feature in their website. So can I use that
Correct.
feature and take the
You
help of
can
Wix?
you can use it, but see what happens most of the time is those things are fixed templates. If you want a
Okay.
certain configuration, or you want some sort of reporting structure, or suddenly you want to add a sort of whiteboard, a sort of interface, if they don't give you, then again you have to find some other route. In the same site you have to give one more link to external link. It is not very difficult, but you have to find a way. We also do the same thing. If a software has a sort of limitation, in that software we'll just provide a link saying that you click here for further. That particular link will take you a different server, different application. I can run it separately outside the system, whereas the feel and look would be the same. So it can be
Okay.
worked out. That's not a problem. If it's a minor thing, you can always do a workaround in a different way. If you are very comfortable with whatever, you can do it and you can launch it, definitely do it yourself first. And once the traction comes and once the revenue comes, then these jokers will not charge you more.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
more realistic. So you will say that this is my actual website and how much you will need for converting it into regular source code and all that.
Right. Right. Right.
Right. All
So I
right.
have one more
Thank.
thing I'll tell afterwards. Let
Yeah.
others speak.
Sure, you can catch up anytime. Yeah, yeah, you can
Yeah.
catch up.
Great. All right. All right. So who we can move on to somebody else who would like to ask a question. Pulkit Purujit Sharma, do you have a question you want to ask right now?
So
Pul-
I can go next.
Yeah, please go. Please go
Yeah.
ahead, Pulkit.
Hi, sir. I've been following you for some time on LinkedIn, so that's why I connected here.
Thank
Um,
you.
so it's kind of coincidental that I'm working on an idea for myself, which is a little similar to what Sandeep is doing, but it is in a broader space, not only targeted to students. What I'm thinking is a lot of people face a problem that we have Upwork, Freelancer, and TopTal, so we get the tangible work done. But a lot of times we do not know what is the right thing to do, and there's no vetting happening. So
Right.
I am
Very
planning to build a platform where you get expert advice from anywhere around the world, which would mean the supply side would be getting the experts, and probably there's an internal process of moderation and vetting that these are real authentic experts in their fields. And demand side would be maybe people who are anxious or who do not know what to do. It can also scale up to maybe startups who are looking for advisors, like what Sandeep is saying. He wants a technical advisor for his company if he builds through. So what do you think about this business as a viability and a need perspective?
No, see every business is the same problem. The supply side is the easiest part. You can create all this platform. No, anybody who wants a business, they'll always come onto your platform. See, even if you talk about a mentors platform, you can get 100 mentors onto the platform because every mentor would like to have some sort of money on this. But who is the person who is coming and actually signing up, and they don't even know who is the mentor,
Yes.
the credibility of the mentor, whether they will really deliver or not. And mentor is the abused word basically.
Yes.
So whether there is no credibility, the second one is no accountability. Mentors, we just talk, and you have to pick up what is good for you. Whereas you ask for a consultant or an advisor, he has to deliver it also. In your
Yes.
case, yeah, platform will definitely will work. I have been thinking about this long back. Some
Okay.
I think 10 years back when not many people talked about startups. I was talking to one VC who is on our board, one Vipul Parekh. He is on board of Big Basket. Actually, I sent him a mail also saying that you have so much of money. Why can't you just give 5 programmers their salary maybe about 25-30,000, and you just maybe 1.5 lakh or 2 lakhs you are paying a month, and then to 25 lakhs you set aside, and you start developing some startup. Whoever, whichever startup wants some sort of software, you every 15 days actually can churn out one startup.
Correct.
But it didn't really made any sense to most of the people. Even today, nobody is actually offering that. Only one company which I know in Bangalore is they are trying to do something where if you have a startup idea, they want to develop everything with free of cost. And if everything is done, and if you are started making money, that time they will take some sort
Right.
of either take or whatever it is. If your startup collapses, they don't want to charge any single pie.
Right. Okay.
So they're taking a risk with their team. They have 500 employees, so they will put some 4 or 5 people on the job, and then they will do that kind of an exercise. Yes,
Right.
your attempt is good. You can always get a lot of people on the platform to do it, but the major problem will be the credibility. So most of the our crowd is I scratch your back, you scratch my back concept. So I keep on telling that yeah, this man is very good. I'll say Ankur is, say Amar is the best chap, and Amar will say Ramesh is the best chap. So my star mark will go. And there are a lot of guys who are actually faking their ratings also. If you see
Right.
all these Zomato ratings and all that, originally TripAdvisor ratings used to be very clean. Then some
Yes.
people started telling that these are all jacked up figures. So when you start trusting the rating, then you have the other problem.
Yes.
So the onus is on the person actually who is recommending. If somebody X is recommending Y, and if X credibility is high, automatically Y credibility will be high. So on
Yes.
internet, it's becoming very difficult to trust anyone.
Right.
Extremely difficult. I'm telling with my own experience. With I have been talking to maybe about 150 startup guys. I would have talked. Out of that, at least 50, 60 people are software guys. They say, "Oh, I can do anything and everything on the earth." They simply can't. They simply can't. I gave them my own personal projects. One person started. He said, I will give 15 days, 20 days, 45 days." Nothing happened. Then finally, I said, "Okay, boss, you don't do anything. I will get it done by through someone else."
Right.
Even on LinkedIn, this is happening. So on LinkedIn, I am not able to get a good IoT guy. Believe me, I cannot get. So many people talk about IoT specialist, that this. I posted one requirement for my friend who wanted some IoT to be done in a machine, large scale machine manufacturing. He wanted some sort of sensors to be integrated into that machine. I posted, not a single quote came in that, not a single inquiry. Even asking for clarification, nobody called. So
Right.
people are only projecting a lot. Yes, your effort will definitely help. If you have a way of actually, instead of people registering themselves, they can register. The people who actually verify, they should be very credible team. So what you should do is you should have a panel of people. Yes, say finance guys or IT guys, some CTOs, some CXOs on your advisor panel. They individually must vet each of those entries. Actually, if some 10 companies have posted saying that I'm expert in Java, somebody says I'm an expert in user interface, somebody says I can do animation. There should be a panel which will actually identify them and grade them.
Right.
How you have done the grading, if you do that, and the pricing should be very, very seamless. It should be totally transparent. It should not be like, so one person says I will charge the 10 lakhs, one more says 25 lakhs, another one says 40 lakhs. So
Right.
you know how many man hours, how many things are there, that you should always put it very clearly. If you can actually do that, it will be a great service to the startup ecosystem.
Right.
You can explore what is it. You have nothing much to lose actually. You have to do only sort of making your website and then do some sort of digital marketing and then find out. And a lot of people will come. That's not a problem. Anybody who wants extra money, they can always come into the system. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
And people see there is a demand. Like Sandeep themselves, he may come and say, take advantage of that. No,
Yes.
there will be a lot of people, but everybody is afraid that am I taken for a ride?
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people are being taken for a ride in the current ecosystem.
Yes. No, I get that. And I am from product management community. I've been an engineer and I've had my 2 startups. So
Very
I'm a
good.
little more cautious in the way I approach. And I'm
Very good.
figuring out risks that are there, that if I get little more traction, there are bigger players like TopTal who can extend to this opportunity as well, because it is very easy for them when they already claim that top 3% of the freelance community is with us. So being an expert discovery model as an added advantage could be a very easy thing for them to extend on their platform. That
Correct.
is one approach that I'm looking at. Plus, additionally, smaller people can also come in. And what TopTal does is they have for an engineer, they have a full 3-step interview process that you have to go through, and only then you are vetted as an expert or a person who qualifies to be a top talent freelancer. So something on those lines. But then it also comes from what is the friction that I add in onboarding the experts, and then how much of retention do we get, because I can onboard them, but then they are kind of representing my platform to the people who are coming from the demand side. So if they say anything, then demand side people would say there are stupid experts there, I don't want to go there. So
I know. That is why I said credible experts is the keyword actually.
right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
credibility is a question that needs to be figured out. Yeah. Thanks, Purvi. Thanks, Rameshji.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Purajit, would you want to go next, or Sarma? Either of you? You haven't asked anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Please go ahead, Purajit.
So I am just graduated. I know there are a lot of professionals peoples here, but I'm just graduated. So I basically, and at the time of college, I was very interested in working on the launching my product and working on the startup as for myself. So I asked my colleagues, and they said that you have to create a website or create an app, then publish on the Play Store, and you can just get your startup going. So as per their talk, I have managed to publish some of my apps to the Play Store, and I have also created the YouTube channel for me. But I am unable to get the required customers or required peoples that can use my apps. So I am not able to understand that where I am going wrong to get that particular users acquisition.
Okay. Rameshji, would you like to take that? Wait, I can't see him, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
See, I think before that, I would like to have some small screen share presentation, because he's starting fresh and getting the ideas part, and no, just break the thing. I just show on screen.
Yeah.
Shall I screen share and show one small presentation?
Yeah.
You have to, I think, enable screen. You have to enable me the screen
I
share.
have to enable to do that to you.
I think so, yeah.
Because you are the host, so you can give him the right to.
Yeah, I'm just
share.
like, I haven't done this before. So it says multiple participants can share simultaneously. Is that what I click on?
Yeah, I
No,
think so.
no. There, yeah, you can do that also.
Yeah.
Let me just click on that. See, Rameshji, if
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
do that.
No, it has come. Yeah, it has.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is not this is just not a heavy presentation. It's a very small, light-headed presentation just to talk about, because he's fresh from college and he said somebody told him to do something, so he did it. So
Yeah.
I just want to take through a small presentation where I talk about how the ideas come and what ideas do. So you want to become an entrepreneur, there are multiple ways. No, you get your own idea, then you do something, build a prototype and get your customers yourself, and then you can become an entrepreneur. And sometimes somebody is looking for some supplier. They say, I need N95 mask, can you manufacture? So you suddenly find, okay, you can get it manufactured. So you can go to your friend, you can manufacture it and get it approved, and you can build a team and then make it. Then also sometimes, easiest path people find is just take a franchisee and you can always become an entrepreneur yourself. You don't need to really bother about much. You depend. You actually go on to the shoulders of the original franchise. Then the other one is you are very rich, somebody is funding you, you always join their business, whatever it is, you can do that. Then jokingly, I keep telling that if you have father or father-in-law, you can always become an entrepreneur without even doing. So basically, the ideas matter. From where they come, that doesn't matter basically. Idea is an idea. So I have some 8 categories which I talk about. Like I will talk about each one in detail. One is missing in the market. There are so many colas, cokes are there, so many plenty of them are there. Then suddenly one person found there is no Jaljeera. Then they started a company called Paperboat. Then it is funded, and now you know where Paperboat is, and Paperboat has got now everything else. All kinds of drinks are there, but their entry point is Jaljeera. They found this is one item which makes sense. So it was an immediate hit, and then they established into the market. Now so many people are actually doing a similar thing like Paperboats. So you have to see what is missing in the industry, whether you can really plug in that and make money out of it. Other one is a personal experience. This is one Mr. Craig. He actually moved to San Francisco and then he wanted to share which are all the places to visit or where is an exhibition, where is a seminar, where which food is good in which restaurant. He was just creating an email list and he was sharing with his friends. Then that list has become so huge. Then he actually started a company in 1996 and now he runs in a few hundred countries and then billions of users every day post their advertisements on Craigslist. Craigslist is one of the popular website for posting all the classified ads, and it's extremely powerful. So based on your personal experience, you can always create something which is useful for others, which you are using, and then you can make others use also. The other one is opportunity. Amazon was doing only e-commerce, only the books. They were selling only books. Then they found that e-commerce is really going to be big. So they started e-commerce, and now we know they are the pioneers in e-commerce. Now, if you see even COVID-19 situation, everybody was talking about N95 marks, and people started all kinds of marks. They are not N95. We don't even know whether Ramraj Dhoti wala mask protects anything or not, but they are making. Wildcraft, who does the bags, they are making it. So this is pure opportunity, and many people are making even ventilators who are not in ventilator business. They started manufacturing ventilators. People who are in lathe machine manufacturing, they are doing ventilators because they have to take the compressor and just put something and then put oxygen tank and give a control, and then it is done. So these things are based on opportunity. You look around for your opportunities and how you can make the money out of it. Then the domain knowledge. This we actually know Baiju when we used to see him in Bangalore. We used to conduct exams in Jyoti Nivas College. He used to hire the auditorium. In the auditorium, he used to take one topic and used to give a lecture, how the tutorials are done. And he used to give one CD to everyone who is coming and going out of that college. Even we used to have that CDs with us. And now you see he has already created a unicorn out of this tutorial business. This is what is his domain knowledge. He put everything into that, and of course he's lucky also to become a unicorn. But the concept is he had domain knowledge and then he put it into a proper framework. Then the passion. Similar to Byju's, Byju has done something else as a commercial business. But this Salman Khan, he actually was his cousin. She asked, "Can you help me in homework?" So slowly he started teaching her in the evenings and all that through Yahoo. Then slowly her friends have started. Then once the whole thing has become bigger, he couldn't teach them one by one. So the friend suggested that why don't you make a YouTube video? He thought YouTube is only for fun making and sharing some sort of jokes and all that in 2006 and all that. But he took courage and then he just put some videos. It became an instant hit, and more people started using. And now, of course, his Khan Academy has so much of funding, and then I think he takes home a salary of even $1 million per month per year. And of course, customer inputs. These are very, very important. It happens even in our regular lives. And I just put one classic case where about the Cordis Corporation. They used to make angioplasty balloons. Actually, whenever there is a block, the balloon will go inside, push it, and then that kind of yellow thing what we are showing as the fat, it pushes, and then the balloon is withdrawn. And after some time, that will again form. The fat will again form inside inside the vein. So this company conducted a big survey with doctors, nurses, patients, everyone, and they found that you are only clearing it temporarily. Is there a way you can block it so that it doesn't come back? Then they brainstormed that idea, and then finally they found something called stent. That became a history in bypass surgery. So wherever there is a thing, they'll just do that angioplast. That particular mesh sort of thing goes there, pushes that up, so that it doesn't come back. If you see the last right hand corner, how it has pushed, the mesh has pushed that entire thing to the corner, so that that entire blood circulation is not affected. This is called, this is where you actually take inputs from the customers and then build some product out of it. Even in our own case, one customer came and then said, you are conducting entrance exams, can you do something for semester exams, which we are conducting regularly every 6 months. Till that time we didn't realize that there is a market for that. When he said that, immediately we said, right now we don't have, we give us some time, we'll definitely do it. I think we took about 6 months to actually develop that particular product, and today we make about 3 to 4 crores business on that particular idea. So that became a separate vertical for us. So you always keep listening to customer, collect the information, and the same customer may need another thing, or it may be a new different product. Of course, this is our favorite, Me Too. In India, 99.9999% companies are only Me Too. There is nothing called unique. If you see somebody else doing good business, we also can do the same business. Of course, academic research is amazing. Everything comes under that, including your vaccines and all that. And what do? Actually, you first find your idea, you visualize what you can do, create the concept, then you validate it and how it works, whether it works, who needs it, how many people need it. Then you, after that, you decide whether you should make an MVP or you have to drop the project. If you are convinced that it can be done, you make an MVP and then test market it and then you run it. This is a process for doing it in brief. How do you do it? First, bootstrap with your own money. Get your paying customers. Everybody is looking for directly for somebody to invest. That investment will not come for your growing customers. It will come only for scaling up. Most of the investors will pay for scaling up rather than for the idea. So focus on paying customers. Only for scaling up, if you want, you go to the investors. Otherwise, don't go for them. That's it for this. So we'll address back to somebody who Pulkit.
Pulkit had asked
Yes,
you. Yeah.
yes, Ramesh. So let's say I got an idea for creating an app.
Yeah,
Now, what would be my first step to display or to
yeah.
tell?
Now the problem is you are on the supply side. You know you have already made something. Why did you make it first of all? Who you thought were going to use this app? Who are the end
Let's say
users?
I made an app called House Expense, and that's for managing expense that helps in the houses.
Hmm.
So I thought that it will help to resolve the problem of maintaining every records and a diary. So it will be great to have a app where we can input our records and save on the cloud. So
Correct.
now,
But who are the end users?
so the end users will be the home customers, the shopkeepers, and the milkman, and the many other peoples which has difficulty to manage their records for payment and
Yeah,
diary.
great. Great. So now your target segment is too huge. So how did you plan to actually see? One thing is, before you actually, that is why in my presentation I said, before even you make the MVP, you should be very sure how you are going to reach the customers. Who are those people? Who is the target? Whether they really need it, and what is the competition like, and how to reach them. If you don't know how to reach them and making the product and hoping that people will come and pick it up, it's a good to dream, but in a reality it is very difficult. So if you go to app, if you go Google Play Store, There are thousands of apps lying there. It's just unimaginable number of apps are there already. So how somebody will know that your thing is very good and how it is useful to them? So how are you planning actually that?
Sorry
How
to
do you,
interrupt, Ramesh. I think your video is off right now.
my video?
Yeah, I can't see you.
Oh, sorry. Somewhere I think because
So
I was
that
sharing it.
is so Ramesh, that was my question,
Yeah.
that how I will be going to reach people. So how will I plan to reach people for an idea?
See, that is why you should first focus on one segment first. Who is a good segment? Say, if you are talking about, say, specifically homemakers, how do you actually reach the homemakers? That is very difficult, right? So you first identify which is the useful segment and who are willing to pay you. So if you have to find out, because I am a terrible marketing man. I don't know actually marketing techniques. So in your case, actually you have created something which has to be pushed to the market. You have to find out a good marketing mentor, what are his ideas and how he will push. That will be very, very critical for you. Making app is the easiest part. Anybody can do it. And anybody getting the same idea, they can always do it. The moment you post on a Google Play Store, anybody can come out with the same app. So you don't worry about it. If somebody is using similar thing and you also can give your thing, the market will be huge, whatever you do. Finding the segment is most critical. You have to address that particular segment. If it is a students, engineering college final year students or any students. So maybe if you are a student, you have your community. You start with your school in your college itself. You make all your friends do it in your final year engineering or third year engineering student. Let them start working on that, whether they're able to plan it and it makes any sense. Other than just tracking the amount, there should be some sort of value add in that. Why they should keep track? Most of the people, even if you talk about me, I have only one Excel sheet. I don't even believe in any other app. Everything is in my Excel sheet. What is my income? What is my expenditure month by month? I have for the last 10 years, I can show you my Excel sheet. And I have got for the next 6 months, what is my projected income? What is my projected expenses? So I know for sure how long I should work and what I should carry forward. So people do have their own ways of handling things. It is always good. But one more thing, what you should notice is when you started something, what is your plan for making it, whether it is to make app used by many people, or you wanted only the revenue on advertisements on that app, or you want to charge people for using the app, and how much money you want per month or per year. Because one app if you make, I don't think anybody is going to buy your app as a company unless it becomes a big company sort of thing, so you should be very clear why you made your app. If you want more people to use it, give it free and you are very happy. Like one of my friends, he has done, he has made an app using YouTube videos under his app. In his app he was picking up top 20 Bhojpuri songs, that's all. And he was just hosting it and somebody will download this month top 20 Bhojpuri songs. Next month again the 20 will change, so people keep using that same app month after month. So, but I told him whether this comes under any legal issues, you please check. So I don't even know whether it's legal or not. Making somebody's data as your content to the app. So making the app is, yeah, and he was very happy with only the ads. Whatever ads coming on the Bhojpuri songs, he was very happy. If every time he says, whenever I have a new version of that app, whenever I change the content, almost 30,000 to 40,000 people they view it, and he was happy with that revenue coming out of that 30 to 40,000 loyal users. You should be very clear what is your target of using this. If you want to sell this, or what is it, you tell me. What do you wanted to do actually with this app? You wanted to, you wanted people to pay for app, or how, usage
No,
wise?
no, I just need to use the app first so that they can get friendly. Now, after the some features will be restricted to them, that can be only be done by the payment.
Correct. But you have to have some users at least. Did you have
Yes.
any free users? How
Uh,
many free
uh,
users you have?
I do have 500 users, but I would need more so to
Yeah,
decrease that.
definitely. Is there anyone who is paying?
No, right now no
Not
one is
yet.
paying.
You're not yet started that. So that 500 has to be some sort of 1,000 or 10,000. Then only the things will start working for you. You focus on how you got your 500. use more efforts to get this 10,000 people onto your app. Then probably you'll be able to do some sort of inroads into this particular business. But more of all said and done, you should have your calculation, one Excel sheet, how much money you want out of this every month. That is very, very critical for you. Then it drives you back. Suppose if you say my target is 1,000 people by end of say September, then you should work on getting that 1,000 people. Otherwise, you will not be working. You just keeping it there won't work. Digital, whatever digital marketing and all. If you spend more money, people will come and go. But how many serious people come, we don't know. So you have to have a very focused action on this. Talk to some good marketing guys, how they can market. Then you see that, because most of the people they fake the numbers. You are honestly telling that it is 500, but most of the people they'll go to some third party, they will create something and then they create some fake accounts and then they will show you 10,000, 20,000, and 1 lakh within no time. Don't ever do that, because it's not going to really help you that way. Those people can afford to do that because they invest money into pumping in fake traffic so that they can create an hype.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah,
the
this is
so
awesome.
my next step would be to have an marketing experts.
Yeah, you take somebody's help who is actually specialist, who claims to be specialist in app deployment, and how does he do it. You should study some people who are actually selling their YouTubes and YouTube channels and all that, how they are doing, and that kind of a thing probably you should learn, because that will help you a lot. Getting the
Right.
users is
Okay.
the most difficult part at any point of time. And yours is again B2C. B2C is actually very difficult to reach. B2B is reasonably easier. B2C is the most difficult part. But if it works, yes, B2C gives you a lot of money
Yeah.
because of sheer volume.
Right. Great. Purjit, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Great. Thanks, Rameshji. Thanks, Rameshji. I think we can move on to Sarma's. Sarma, I'm sure you have a question. You've been smiling all through. So please go ahead and ask a question.
No, I'm just looking into my Ramesh sir. So after a long time, maybe he
Almost
might
10.
see wander along with this. Maybe. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Oh, where are you now? Hyderabad?
Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore only. Okay.
See, I have one problem, sir, on the idea side. And actually, you answered in the PPT already. Identify the segments. So maybe this is point I have a problem. So the concept is very simple. So I am trying for a small startup, not like like in a small or big, but I just want to settle my brother in Vizag. So I'm just identifying some place and I'm trying to put some coffee shop. Simple. So that's my motive. And along with that, he's a graduate, MED, BEd he finished. So
Okay.
I am just thinking, why can't I build some like a model school around my Vizianagaram area? So there are some schools, yes, of course. The school competition is really high nowadays. So I am just trying to identify, different ways of implementing some. It's like, from primary KG to, just 5th standard. It's not like a standard school, and I'm just currently I'm in idea stage. Okay, I'm exploring like how, like in German, how they are doing that, academic. I'm just doing some R&D around this area. Sir, my problem not with this. My problem anyway, I have to build something, a small school, and give it to my brother and takes care of that locality, and then I want to settle my brother as a family side. So, but my problem is I'm thinking sometimes, for example, I got some thought, maybe some idea. So I am going through web and trying to identify like any people are already attempted this kind of ideas or if this kind of exercise. Unfortunately, I found 10 out of 20, something like that. So again, like disappointed. Okay, let us try to, improve this idea. See, I want to say, like, let us come with something at least like, you given me like, example in Paperboat. They just identified Zerazol is not there in the market, but if fruit juices and desserts already there in the market, but they identified the one small gap and they started with it and they expanded the other areas.
Correct.
So I am actually connected to that PPT. Now I am identifying how to segment this area and all. So
Positioning basically.
Yeah, positioning. How to break this chain? So starting with the idea and dissatisfying with myself and breaking out it, and how come I'll come into the execution part. That's really I have a big problem. One point. And the second point I have, so yes, of course it can't be done by with one person. So I have to find a good team. So I think you already know me, and I have our couple of guys who can I contact with if I get some thought process. That's not a big concern now. So only one problem, if I identify an idea, so if the players are already there in that particular idea, whether to good to proceed with that idea or just drop it and then go for some other segmentation or positioning. What's your suggestion?
See, first
Maybe
thing is
confusion question.
no. See, the first thing is you are trying to do something for your brother. So first you should
We have already initiated.
sure whatever you do, is he going to take it and run forward? You are going to give him the baton and then he has to run. You are a coach.
Yes.
You are actually making him run a 400 by 400 meter relay, and actually you are giving him a baton to start running. Whether he is willing to run or he is expecting you to run it. See, you have to be very clear. So, is he going to be a sleeping partner, or he just going to supervise the whole thing? Or you give the idea set up, after that he will take over, or you have to keep doing it yourself, and he will be there also. That you have to be careful, because you are already working in a company, and you will not be able to actually spend so much of time for him. So you have to give it to him, and he should run it himself.
Yes.
So you have to find out what is that he is interested in running also. That is one point which I would like to see. You probably can just check if with our idea comes, first you should discuss with him whether you are willing to take this kind of a work. If he says yes, then you proceed into the further one. Suppose you say you find something with IoT, you can do some stuff for agricultural sector where all the motors will be linked to IoT sensors, and whenever water electricity comes, automatically your motor will start and you can start pumping it. The idea is there, idea is good, you can implement from your side, technology side. Whether your brother will be actually willing to go to talk to the agriculturists, all the farmers, whether he will convince the farmer to install that and do it, we don't know. Suppose then you come out with an organic vegetable growth. So you find out 10 farmers, and each one has about 1 acre to 10 acres. You use about 30 acres of land and make an organic farming as a group, and then you deliver these organic fruits and vegetables to say regular shops. That could be a good project as per you, whether your brother will do it or not. See, that is where it's very, very important. Now, I presume that you talk to him and convince him and do that particular part. Then you identify which are the areas, say maybe about 4 areas or 5 areas. First you identify. Then second is you have to check which one is going to give you a steady income, not a periodical income. Suppose if today you can make an N95 mask, it may die after 1 year. It is not going to serve a longer purpose. Today it will give you a lot of business, but may not be after 1 year or 2 years. So what is the goal of your project? How long you want to survive on this? Is it next 20 years or 30 years? How much money you want every month? Whether this particular product will give you that kind of money or not. Once you decide how much money you want per month, it becomes easier whether you want to do it yourself or just simply take a franchise. For example, there is one company called Apsara Ice Creams. That particular company was there for last 60 years or 70 years. One man was running it, and his son did IIM in MBA from one IIM. After IIM, father told very clearly, "You are not taking a job anywhere. You are just joining me." That boy said, "What will I sell ice creams? I already two branches are there, one in Mumbai, one in Ahmedabad. Why should I become a ice cream maker after doing MBA?" Father said, "Nothing doing. I am retiring, and you take it up." So this boy got a brilliant idea. He started a franchise system. First year he started 5 franchises, and it was a huge success. And then he decided that he will have 100 franchises. My son's father-in-law actually, he took 3 franchises in Bangalore alone. 3 franchises. Each franchisee may cost about 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs or whatever it is. They'll give the designs how they should be, They will supply the everything, and then every month you are supposed to lift some sort of say 4 lakh worth ice creams or whatever it is. Just imagine that boy sitting in Ahmedabad, 100 franchises, 100 franchises picking up every month 5 lakh worth ice creams. He's just making his money sitting there, and they will deliver. All you have to do is just give them. They will give you all the items. They will just that refrigerated van comes. They will deliver it in go. So these people have to just run the ice cream shop. That's all. So that kind of a franchises are also useful. So I think you should first look into a franchisee business. That could be much easier. Like some in a franchisee.com or something, they have got a lot of projects actually. Many companies actually post, and they do some sort of franchise like including kidsies and everything is there. So one option you can definitely look into that. Otherwise, if you are not happy with those kind of arrangements and then you have to pay a lot of money for royalty every month you have to pay, you want to avoid that, you can certainly start something. Like my wife has got her own baby care center and creche where up to 5-year-old kids come to the school, and she has a license up to LKG and UKG. She doesn't want to expand. She's very happy with that. And you have a baby sitting till 12 o'clock, and the children whose parents work, they come home and then stay for about up to 6 o'clock in the evening or 7 o'clock till the parents come. This also can happen, and then he did not have much of strain also. So you have to think what is your brother's interest, because he is going to take it and run, not you. What you can give a high tech thing saying that you run tutorials, high level tutorials for NEET and JE, and you can provide the entire courseware, everything. But is he able to run it, and will he run it? You should not be actually helping him in that. Think over that, and then you identify. You talk to him first, give him an opportunity. You give him a list of 20 items, what he wants to do. Based on that, you explore more. Don't go from your side. You are a high tech guy. He may not understand those.
Yeah, Sarma?
Yeah, yes, of course, yes, sir.
Okay.
We can also discuss. Sharma, you are anyway known to me. Even unknown people are talking to me, so no problem.
Yeah, I also want a brother like Sarma, by the way.
You have a brother like that.
There's nobody thinking about me.
It's a good to see you, sir, after a long time.
Right. All right. We got like 10 more minutes. About 5. Somebody else wants to go ahead. Otherwise, I can ask a question to Ramesh sir.
No, I have
Sandeep?
two questions. Yes, I have two
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Like as Mr. Sarma said, it's with me also. Hundreds of ideas come in, and when I Google up those ideas already implemented, then I think of something else. What else I can do?
1
Which is
minute. I want to stop there.
yeah.
Any idea you think is good, please go ahead and do it, because why? You should never be afraid of a competition. Even the best
Okay.
idea you bring out, by afternoon it is actually open. There is a competition coming up. When my company started computer based exams in 2000, there was no one. 2002, one Meritrack came. Then after 2008, TCS came, and TCS in 2016 they made 800 crores business, whereas we are making about 40 crore business. And there are 24 online computer based exams today, but still we have our own demand, we have our own credibility, our own market. So you don't worry about competition, and competition always actually increases the market size. So don't ever worry about anything. If you are confident of getting the customers, if you think, let there be 100 competitors, if you think you can get a share of say 10% or 1%, you actually can do it. That is my
Okay.
sincere request nowadays, not to just see and get worried about the magnanimity of the competition. You can always say you are a custom built one to one. If you are a tutorial business, you can always say I am giving one to one opportunity, and any midnight you wake me up and I will tell you no need to take an appointment and all that. So you can convert your weakness as a strength actually.
Yes, yes, yes. That actually relaxes me. So, I'm now pretty sure that I'm going to stick to this idea. I'm not going to search anything else.
Yeah. Don't worry about competition at all. You get your market share. Even if you get 5% of market share, 1% of market share, it is more than enough. You don't even think about it. First, you set up. That is what, like I told Sharma, you have to have in your Excel sheet how much money you want at the end of the month. See, at the end of the day, any business you are doing, it is money, boss. Otherwise, people like you only talk saying that money is not important, but bullshit. Money is important. At the end of the
Very
day,
much.
you need money. You have an Excel sheet. Bottom, you say, I want 1 lakh rupees. How many students will come and how much each student will pay? 1,000 rupees a month. And you need about 100 people every month. How do I get 100 people continuously every month? So you keep increasing. If 100 you are aiming, you may get only 50. Even if you get at 50, 50,000, 50,000 is a good money to start with. So you focus on that. You have a target actually. Without target, don't run anything.
Right.
Otherwise, what happens is when the traction comes, I will make an Excel sheet. It won't work. From day one, you should have an Excel sheet. This month I need 100 people. Next month I need 100 people. Don't say 200 like a typical startups. They put first year they'll have 500,000 people. Next year they will say I want 25 lakh people. Third year they will say 1 million people. It won't work. You first
Right.
put realistic figures. Maybe you say first month I want 50, next month you want 55, or next 60 or 70. Then slowly over a year you make it as a double, or maybe more, which will give you the positive statement.
Right, sir.
But
Right.
slowly start getting some customers, then it will build your confidence a lot. And one successful student will get you 5 students.
Correct. So the startup which I yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. The startup which I started in 2009 was for students of only USA, UK, and China. But
Hmm.
right now, at this moment, I'm not going to those countries. I'm just looking for India because I
Hmm.
see that there is huge demand in India. I'm now myself into educational institute. I'm seeing students crying for help. So I think with India, it will work. You just in the last conversation you named there's a company which helps entrepreneurs or startups. What is the name of the company, sir? If you can mention us.
Oh, I have to check here some in time tech or something. You ping me. I will try to connect to that company, and then if they are interested, then let us see that.
Sure, sure, sir. So there is one more person. I think he's an investor from
Hmm.
Netherlands, and he's been in touch with me since more than 6 months because
Mhm.
he wanted to partner with me for another store, a baby store in Kolkata. I'm staying in Kolkata.
Oh, okay.
I denied that because he had a huge investment and he
Hmm.
wanted to have some more discussion of my ideas. So when I discussed my educational idea with him, he said it's a very good idea. I want you to prepare a business model for it. I have
Mhm.
no idea how to prepare a business model. If you can suggest me some sites which I can go through and
Uh,
understand how to.
I don't know. I'll have to check with some guys who can do it in my network. Maybe I have to check who is good in making that thing. I
Okay.
will check up. I am not good in that, so I'll have to find someone good.
Right. So one
Will.
last question, if I'm allowed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yes. So there is a business consultant. In recent days, I have just become active in LinkedIn, and there are
Mhm.
too many business consultant contacting me, and they're saying we can help you build up strategies, we can help you build up your business, and they're charging 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs. How good is that to agree with them?
I I never suggest you to go to such kind of people.
Okay, okay,
If they
sir.
have come to you, please don't go to them.
Okay, sir. Got
You
it.
find someone, and then you get interested. Maybe you ask them, then if they quote, it is nice. There is absolutely no problem.
Okay,
Because I
okay.
have seen this problem happening for the mentors. I heard that a lot of people like me, we have a 20 years experience in education. They'll simply go, anybody in the education segment will say, okay, you are doing something in edtech. I have 20 years of experience. I would like to mentor you. And don't give me anything other than only 13% of the stake. And
Okay.
when the moment you say I am a mentor, actually there is no deliverable actually attached to a mentor. Mentor is what? Basically, we ask dirty questions and then whether you have an answer or not. No, we should mutually find some sort of solution or answer.
Right.
Otherwise, you become a consultant or an advisor. At the moment you become a consultant, you have to sort of deliver that particular thing. You can't say that do something and then I'll just take care of that. So I'm
Mm.
supposed to do it. I'll tell you a small story about these consultants. There was one rat in a small hole. Whenever that rat comes out, that one cat used to jump on that. So the rat life has become miserable. So then somebody said there is one owl on the tree, which is a very wise owl. You just go and meet one day. So the one day when cat is not around, this rat goes to the owl and then talks to that owl. Boss, ऐसा मेरा life बर्बाद हो गया कुछ बोलो. So like think, let me think. ठीक है, एक काम करो, you become a dog. The cats are afraid of dogs. Rat is extremely happy, comes back and then tries to become a dog. It doesn't become a bad dog. Then again same problem. Again after some time again it goes to owl. Then owl says, "What is the problem?" He said, "I am trying. You have given a brilliant idea to become a dog, so that cat is afraid, but I am unable to become a dog." He says, "Giving a suggestion is my program. Implementation is your headache." These are the consultants. Please do
Okay.
not go to owls like this.
Right.
If you find someone, you please go approach them and then get it. Okay.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sandeep. Ramesh, just I'll ask one question just to like
Sure, sure.
because to close it. Basically, largely, so you've been in technology for a while, and like Sandeep is a non-tech guy, and there are a lot of people who struggle navigating technology. Is there something you recommend we should read or we should watch to improve our knowledge of technology? Stuff like IoT, stuff like artificial intelligence, stuff like machine learning. How do we improve our knowledge of what technology can do?
No, actually, you don't need to do it just because the technology is there, which is
Okay.
really useful only you should see. Suppose if I'm in education sector where I'm doing only computer-based exams,
Yeah.
I will not use a lot of technologies. I may hear about a lot of technologies. I will check each one whether it is useful for my application or not, and then only I will try to learn the technology. Otherwise, if it's not useful to me, why should I learn? It's okay for
Okay.
academic interest. I'll always know,
Okay.
but whether it is useful for my growth or not, that is more important. What is useful for your growth? Yes, definitely you learn that, and then it will be useful. If you
Okay.
are purely into say education sector and you're focusing on education syllabus, what kind of teaching method should be there, you need not worry about how it is being delivered. The delivery part will come from the technology expert. He will find out appropriate technology to implement your portion. Don't dilute your strength. Don't try to cover your weaknesses. You strengthen your strengths. That is what I
Right.
keep telling.
Right. Right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I guess that'll be the end of this session. In case somebody wants to speak to Ramesh later, like get in touch with me. Obviously, he's always on LinkedIn also. But overall, the whole idea of these sessions, I will organize more sessions with the other people who are guiding in different areas. So stay in touch with the page also, Mentors at Play, and we'll do more sessions, Ramesh also, I'm sure, in future. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, all
Thank
of
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.